Hello world, and welcome to Moe the Gerds, brought to you by Techtainment. Now in today's class, we'll be learning PEMDAS. PEMDAS stands for Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. This acronym is used within the order of operations when we're trying to get a solution out of a problem. Now, starting within like elementary school, it may be something as simple as just like addition, subtraction. Then as you get older, we throw a little multiplication and division in there. And once you're in high school, we get into like algebra 1 and 2, where variables, exponents, distributive properties and things of that nature is added. And that's when things get a lot complicated. But we're going to start from the beginning so we know how simple this can be. And then once we get to like the longer problems, then we'll just take it step by step. As long as we know these rules, we are good, okay? So PEMDAS, P stands for parentheses. And parentheses usually go around numbers or variables, and this means you do this by itself, aside from anything else, okay? E stands for exponents. And exponents is usually when you take something to another degree. So for example, 2 to the 3rd degree would be 8. Because 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8 to the 3rd, okay? So basically you're just multiplying it by itself. M stands for multiplication. And we should all know what multiplication is when we times one number or variable by another. And that gives us a solution. So let's say 2 times 3, that's 6. So instead of 2 to the 3rd, which is 8, we're doing multiplication, which is 2 times 3, and that gives us 6. The D, is that a D? The D stands for division, which is the opposite of multiplication. And basically that's just seeing how many times the base variable can go into the whole number. Okay, so if we're doing like 60 divided by 6, it will be 10. A stands for addition, and this is what we learn in like kindergarten, where we're just adding 1 plus 2, you get 3. But don't always put 2 and 2 together, because you're not always going to get the answer. Let me stop, that was a corny joke. But yes, that's addition. And then lastly, we get to subtraction. Now, subtraction is when we take a number or variable, most likely a number, and then we subtract it from another number, okay? So that would be something like 12 minus 3, we'll get 9, okay? And when we put this together, we can literally solve any problem in the world. At least in America, because we use PEMDAS, and we don't use a lot of the same units as other countries do. But just for standard math, PEMDAS it is, because computers read PEMDAS, calculators read PEMDAS. Of just the natural order of things in life, like the golden ratio, or like just phenomenons in life, follow that rule. So we as humans are also going to follow the rule that our closed environment has gave us. Open or closed, we don't know. But that is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And let's get down to the first example. So for our first question, we're going to start with something hard, and then we're going to get to the easy one, so it's a little easier for us, okay? So for the first question, we're going to do parentheses 5 plus 7 to the 3rd, close parentheses, divided by 7 times 7. Now let's see how this works out for us. Okay? We're going to start with the first order of operations, which would be, you got it, P, parentheses, right? So please figure out what's in the parentheses. That's 5 plus 7 to the 3rd. Now what are we going to do next? E, good job. So we're going to do 7 to the 3rd. So that's 7 times 7 times 7, right? 7 times 7 is 49. Times 7, that's like 343. I like math, so it's okay. 343, right? So now we have 5 plus 343 divided by 7 times 7. Now we're going to add 5. That's 348. So now we have 348 divided by 7 times 7. So if you, like any person that's good at math, you would know that they cancel out with the multiplication and the division. So I would just automatically round my answer to 348. But let's just keep going down so we know we're on the same page, right? So what's next is we're going to divide it by 7. 343 divided by 7, that's 49. So 348 divided by 7, that is 49.7. Let me do it real quick, hold on. Okay. For PEMDAS, we're going to start with the question that everyone has trouble with. Well, not everyone, because some people actually do it the correct way. So don't forget, when we're doing PEMDAS, parentheses is first, exponents is second, third is relative to which comes first to the left, okay? So multiplication and division, those two would be based on which one comes first. And for addition and subtraction, the same thing. Whichever one comes first, that's what you do first. So we'll start with this one that I constantly see on social media. Right here. And usually people argue like, is it 16? Is it 1? Is it 16? Let's find out. Okay. So 8. First we have parentheses. So we're gonna do the parentheses. What's inside the parentheses? It's 2 plus 2. So we're gonna go 4. Alright. And then we're just going to bring this down to keep it consistent. Now all we have left is multiplication and division, right? So we're going to start off with what's on the left, which would be 8 divided by 2. That gives us 4. And we're left with 4 times 4, 16, okay? So hopefully we no longer have this issue. Let's do one more question. So for this question here, we're going to do something a little longer that's a little more complex, right? So we're going to do parentheses 3 times 5 squared plus 16. We are going to do 3 times 5 squared plus 6, close parentheses, divided by, so this is our separator here, parentheses 13 minus 2 squared. Right? So, where do we start first? Parentheses. Now, because we have 2 sets of parentheses, we have to see which one is closer to the left, and then we'll just start with everything over there, right? Now we're here. But we also see that within this, there's an exponent. So that means we're doing the exponent next. So, all in all, I'll have 3 times 25 plus 6, close parentheses, divided by 13 minus, we'll just do it at the same time, 4. Okay. This is okay to do because everything in this parentheses is here and everything in this parentheses is on this side, okay? So now, what's next? We have, put on the bottom. Okay, we did our parentheses, check. Exponents, check. Now we have some multiplication we have to do. So 3 times 25, that's 75. So 3 times 25 is 75. And we'll just do everything in the parentheses. So 75 plus 6, there you go, 81. So this parentheses consists of the number 81. We legit don't have to keep it in the parentheses because there's only one variable in here. But just for the fun of it, we'll leave it, okay? So 81 divided by 13 minus 4. 13 minus 4 is 9. And then we have a pretty simple equation now, right? This is not like the neatest of my handwriting, but it's here, okay? So 81 divided by 9 is, there you go, 9. Okay, and that's how we do PEMDAS. So the main rule is to remember, you please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and you always go from left to right, okay? So you always start from left to right. Multiplication and division is interchangeable. Addition and subtraction is interchangeable relative to going left to right, okay? If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get a little more in depth as we get through the curriculums, because remember, it starts with imagination, relativity, enlightenment. I'm trying to get us to that point where we can do math exponentially so that we can save time and enlighten ourselves with the cooler things in life around us. Now let's get to science.